Hi everybody, I'm going to show you guys how to set up your tournament boards. Now your board may or may not look like this at home, but if you are in any of my co-op classes, we use these boards. So you'll see that my board has a white and green squares. Some are white and red, some are red and black, some are white and blue, some are white and black. It doesn't really matter. You'll have a light colored square and a darker colored square. Your tournament boards will also have letters on the bottom, lowercase letters right there, and they'll also have numbers along the side. So it matters how you set your board up. The letters should always be facing you and the numbers go up and down. The reason for this is, well, here, let me go here first. How you set your board up first is making sure it's oriented the correct way. So the way I teach everybody is look for the white to the right or the light to the right. So this is my right hand. That is not a light colored square. This is a dark colored square. So my board is oriented incorrectly. So I would need to turn my board. So if your board does not have letters and numbers, then you definitely need to make sure that to your right side is a light square. If you have a tournament board, the letters go on the bottom, and then you'll always have a right square. So really quickly, on the board, because you'll hear me talk about this a lot in my other videos, the numbers this way, horizontal, going up the board, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, these are ranks. So the horizontal rows are called ranks. The vertical columns are called files. So this is the D file, the D file. This is the E file. So when you're setting things up, they go by rank and file, okay? So let's get started on our actual pieces. So the way I like to tell all of my students is that white always goes first in chess. The light colored pieces always go first, always. Unless of course you're being kind to your brothers or sisters or whatever and you let them go first even though they're black. But white goes first. So the way we remember that is white will go on ranks 1. Let me do this slide so it's upright. 1 and 2 because white is first. So 1 and 2 get white, which means ranks 7 and 8 over here will get black. So now that I have it oriented correctly, we start setting up our pieces. So since chess is kind of a battle between two kingdoms, I always describe it this way. Your rooks, which look kind of like little castles, they go first because your king, who is in charge of your army, lives in a castle. So they go first on these outside squares. The next is who protects the castle. So who is going to protect our castle? And that is our knights. So our knights go next. So they go next to our rooks, and sometimes people call them horses. That's fine. Sometimes people call these castles. That's fine. Later on, we'll stress that this is a rook and this is a knight. But in the beginning, if that's what you want to remember, kings live in castles. Castles are protected by horses. And now that we have the knights protecting our building, who protects our soul and our spiritual well-being? Well, we go to our spiritual mentors, which are, in this case, our bishops. So the bishops go next. We have 2 squares left. And what we have left are our king and our queen. The queen is one of the most powerful pieces on the board, and what she wants more than anything in this world is to be color coordinated. So the queen goes on her own color. This is a light colored queen. She goes on the light colored square. There's only 1 square left, and that is for your king. Then all your pawns line up. Your white pawns line up on the second rank. So let's go through this again with black. Our king lives in a castle, which is our rooks. It's protected by our horses, by the knights. they go next. Then our spiritual advisors who help protect our souls, they go next. And we're left with 2 squares left. The queen likes to be color coordinated, so she's gonna go on her square. And then the king is last, okay? And then the pawns line up, just like that. So you have your white lined up on ranks 1 and 2. Our light square is to the right, and our black lines up on 7 and 8.